Welcome back to Snetterton. We're about a third of the way through the second race of the opening weekend of the 2012 MSVR Radical UK Cup season, and the race is being led by that man, car number 1, Stuart Mosley, although he's being pressurised by the driver we ride in car with, Bradley Ellis. The pair of them have really broken away at the head of the field, and Ellis seesawing the wheel, but he's not been able to prize the opening to try and take the lead away from Mosley, who took the advantage into riches on the first lap and hasn't conceded it since. They've pretty much got the entire length of the Bentley straight over Manhalos in third position. So through Brundle and Nelson go the race leaders. We are getting pretty near as well to that point of the race where the drivers must come in and serve their mandatory pit stop. Don't forget, in Radical UK Cup races, all drivers must pit in, and then the pit stop length is determined by driver weightings, with some getting shorter pit stops than others. So it will all be changing in a couple of moments' time, but for the moment it's Mosley just ahead of Ellis. Good battles throughout the field as Phil Abbott is sandwiched in the SR3s. Across line they go, as out goes the pit open board. This could be very interesting.
The pit stop window is now open for the drivers to come in and do their changeovers. It's a frantic, hectic section of the race, so let's see who's the first to come in.
Well, this will be very interesting, Lucia, because I made it that Stuart Mosley and Bradley Ellis went past the start-finish line before that pit lane open board went out, which means they must go past that board before they can pit in. So they are unique amongst this field, and they've got to do another lap, and this could work against them because that's Roger Bromley who's gone off. He's had a spin on the extra Voggies, and by the way Roger's moving the car, I think he might be getting out of that, and that may just trigger a safety car. So the leaders go through, they continue to race regardless onto the Bentley straight, as out indeed does come the safety car. So the safety car is out. Now, I make it that the two leaders have got to go round for another lap and pass that pit lane open board. So let's see what they do. They go in to the pit lane. Now, this could be very interesting. They pit in, and this, I think, is against the championship regulations. They may well be penalised for this. Well, plenty of conferences in the pit lane. The teams get to work regardless. So it's going to be Mark Smithson who will be taking over the number 1 car. There's Mark in the black helmet. Andy Cummings it is, who is clambering in to car number 6. The team set to work strapping him in as Tony Wells takes over from James Littlejohn. Manhal Alos, who is in third, is a single driver entry. Leaders get pushed back into the race. Chris Headlam waiting there. He rejoins with Jamie Stanley having just handed over to him. The safety car remaining out on track. Tony Wells also rejoins the fray. This race is going to be completely turned its head, with the entire field being able to pit under the safety car. This will give us a quite topsy-turvy order when racing resumes. John Reynolds rejoins the action as well.
So Alex, you completed the first stint out there for race 2. How did it go for you?
It was going really, really well. Obviously, we're in the SR3 class. We have the SR8s in front of us. At the start, I just tried to be as aggressive as I could and get past a few SR8s. So that I had a few of them. There's a gap, like a buffer between myself and Nick and Jamie Stanley. And that worked really, really well. Managed to build up a 10-second lead just before the pit stops. And on my in-lap before the pit stop, they said the safety car had come out. So I was gutted because my lead's just gone now. But it's okay. I mean, Tom's gone out there. He's leading. He's got track position. He's leading at the moment. It's only his 4th race in cars. He's done all 4 races today. So we're going to see how he gets on, really. He's a complete novice in cars. He's done a bit of karting, and see how he gets on.
Well, Tom Jordan's cause aided possibly there by a spin from Andy Cummings, the number 6 car. That will drop it down from 2nd position. Lights out on the safety car. It's Manhal Alos who has had the best run in the pit stops. He is the leader of the race as racing gets back underway here at Snetterton. So he is able to jump Mark Smithson through the pit window. The green flag flies and the car's able to go back to full speed. So they charge on towards Richards. So it's Alos from Smithson, then it's Tony Wells with Terence Woodward and Zach Chapman rounding out the top 5, and then Andy Cummings having spun down to 6th position with that incident at the hairpin at Montreal. They arrive there now, and that's optimistic there from Terence Wood. That could cost him position actually, because Zach Chapman looks as if he's just been able to squeeze through on the inside. Let's see if he's been able to do that. We look for the white car. Yes, he has. So Zach Chapman goes up into 4th position. Just outranked himself slightly there was Terence Woodward, but already Chapman is piling the pressure onto Tony Wells, on towards Agostini. In fact, Chapman looking to the inside of Wells into Agostini, and is he going to do it? Yes, he does. Brilliant move from Zach Chapman. Can he hold it on the outside? He does. That is fantastic driving. Just prizing the opening up the inside, sliding through. moving into the podium positions. Alos leading now. What can Smithson do about closing in on him? And Zach Chapman, who won the first race of the weekend a little bit earlier on today. Already he's pulling away from Tony Wells, who's got Terence Woodward to worry about right on his tail. As we look back to the SR3 battle, which is getting very busy, there is John Reynolds in the midst of it in the 33 car. He's got Simon Tilling in number 9, who's just about to go past him. Tilling running in the SR8. There's Chapman already coming on to the tail of Mark Smithson. Good couple of corners here for Zach Chapman, and he's been able to put himself in the box seat with regards to challenging for the race win as Reynolds accelerates out of Nelson. And Alos completing another lap through Murray's, accelerating onto the centre straight. Now with Zach Chapman ever closer to Mark Smithson, and Smithson's going to really have his work cut out. The black flag goes out. Just looking to see who that's for. It's for cars number 1 and 6. That is Mark Smithson in car number 1 and car 6, Andy Cummings. Those are the two cars that we thought may have pitted a bit early. David Scott, the event director, has agreed, and so they have got to come in for a stop-go penalty. Disaster for the pair of them. Now, what is that going to do at the front of the field? Well, it's going to make life a lot easier for Zach Chapman, because he's now going to get the free run and Matt Halas to challenge for the lead of the race. But at the same time, Mark Smithson isn't going to make it easy for Zach Chapman. He's certainly not going to concede his position before he peels into the pit lane to serve that penalty through Oggies and on towards Williams, as Gary Kane there in the lead of the SR3 class with Chris Headlam closing in on his tail. So those two coming to the fore since the safety car restart. And now Zach Chapman must just be willing Mark Smithson to get to the end of the lap and go into the pits for that penalty, not least because he slides wide at the bomb hole, and up the inside goes Zach Chapman. They go side by side through Coram. Great driving from the pair of them, but around the outside Mark Smithson maintains his position, accelerates out of Murray's, and does he go into the pit lane? Yes, he does. And Zach Chapman, we say, well, what was that all about? We went wheel to wheel through Coram Curve, 160 miles an hour, and then you pitted in. So into the pits comes Mark Smithson. He comes to the halt for his stop and go, and he stalled it. Disaster for Mark Smithson. He stalls the car, and that stop and go penalty now becomes a 10-second plus penalty. Takes him right out of contention. Well, Manhal Alos may have thought he could breathe easier having seen the number 1 car having to go in and serve that penalty, but it won't, because Zach Chapman will now just be able to close up onto his tail. Nothing but fresh air between himself and Manhalos into Agostini come the Leeton Duo, and it really is going to be between the pair of them for the honours. Tony Wells there in 3rd position, under no particular pressure, so he will be very pleased to get onto the podium himself and James Littlejohn. Chris Headlam also trying to get to terms with Gary Kane for the lead of the SR3 class. Alos turns out of Nelson, accelerates onto the bomb hole, one of the most exciting corners here. Snetterton, the camber really fars the drivers out onto the very quick entry to Coram Curve. Reprofiled over the winter of 2011, now much tighter into Murray's. Used to be overtaking this one, instead they use the extra Murray's to accelerate up the centre straight and challenge into Rich's. Nice battle here between Peter Bamford and Simon Tilling. Bamford accelerates out of the bomb hole on towards Coram Curve. Tilling piling the pressure on as they arrive in towards Coram. And off goes Bamford. Bamford goes flying off. Don't know what happened there. He just goes straight on at the entry towards Coram, and he almost goes over the grass tracks he left a little bit earlier on when he made his first error at Coram. He should rejoin without having hit anything and more or less maintain his position. I think the gap between the leads is coming down. It certainly is, because Zach Chapman has brought that gap down from 10 or so car lengths to 5 or so. And likewise, the gap from the SR3 class is coming down. Gary Kane is coming under considerable pressure now from Chris Headlam. 3rd in the SR3 class is Tom Jordan. We're hearing Alex Camardia, his co-driver, saying earlier this is Tom's first weekend racing, and he's on course here for a podium finish into Murray's leading duo. Still Zach Chapman, he's so close to Manhalas, but he can't quite fashion an opening just yet. The checker flag is being readied, and it's going to be the win for Manhalas just from Zach Chapman. Very solid weekend for Zach Chapman, but Manhalas making up for the disappointment of not starting from pole in race 1 with a victory in race 2. Now, what about the SR3s? Here they come now into Murray's for the final time, and Chris Headlam right on the tail of Gary Kane as they jink out of the corner and onto the centre straight. And again, it's going to be a drag race to the line. Gary Kane, the bright orange colour, I think is just going to do it. The checker flag is ready and waiting, and it is the class win for Gary Kane from Chris Headlam, with Alex Kapadia and Tom Jordan taking third position. Very happy drivers in the Parc Fermé, but Van looking slightly concerned. He goes up to race control, believe they think there's a start infringement, so the drivers celebrate on the podium and receive the applause. And now they can spray the champagne. A very hard but very enjoyable day's work done for the drivers in the Radical UK Cup. Well, Manhalalos was able to prove his innocence and was reinstated as the winner of race 2 from Zach Chapman in second, James Littlejohn and Tony Wells in third. In ninth place we had the SR3 class winners Nick Padmore and Gary Kane. Well, after the first meeting of the season, these are the championship standings within the Masters class. Zach Chapman leads it from Tony Wells and James Littlejohn in second, Manhal Alos in third, despite that disastrous race 1. And in the Supersport class, Gary Kane and Nick Padmore lead it from Tom Jordan and Alex Kapadia, with Chris Headlam and Jamie Stanley in third position, all to play for the rest of the season.
Well, thanks for joining us here at Snetterton for the first round of the Dunlop Radical UK Cup. As you've seen, absolutely anything can happen, and there's some really exciting racing. We hope that you'll be able to join us again next time at Silverstone. We look forward to it.